Hey guys, welcome to Urban Empire, a game that I have been itching to get my hands on ever since I heard about it. This game is from Calypso, the people who brought us Tropico, one of my favourite games. And it is a city builder, but it's a different type of city builder. This is not like a Sim City. This is kind of like, imagine a cross between a little bit of SimCity, a whole load of Civilization, and then add in a big dose of House of Cards and all the political intrigue, and you've got an idea of what Urban Empire is about. It's definitely a city builder of a different genre. It's kind of interesting. We're going to dive straight in. I'll just quickly show you the settings. Nothing too surprising. Typical kind of sound options, typical kind of graphic options. I'm running this on ultra settings, and I've been finding that I've been getting like maxed out 60 frames a second all the time. Typical kind of options you'd expect. Key mappings, you can remap your keys as you would expect, and DLCs. Now, for any of you who know the Tropico series, you will know that Calypso do like to produce a lot of DLCs. But I've found, I mean, certainly with the Tropico stuff, that their DLCs tend to be at least reasonably good value for money. So I'm going to be very interested to see exactly what kind of content they're going to ship in the new DLCs. I would imagine it'll be like new maps, new families, and new different types of scenarios. Maybe we'll see. I'm going to be very interested to see like what route they go with, what content's going to be in the DLCs. Talking to the families, let's jump into a new game, and then I can tell you about the families. Now there are scenarios, but we're going to go with a campaign for this first look. And the first thing you have to do is choose the family you're going to play as. There are 4 families in currently. The von Filsons are your typical like traditional aristocrats. They're landed gentry, aristocrats with a strong military tradition and a hardline conservative stance. Their grand manor has steadfastly overlooked the same estate surrounded by their fields and forest since the early 14th century, despite the land belonging to 3 different countries throughout the years. They're traditionalists, they believe in social hierarchy and the people's need for stability in a changing world. So these are definitely the old aristocracy. They like things to pretty much stay the same. They want to limit change. They don't like too much change. Just trying to keep this, maintain the status quo. Then you've got the St. Elias, who are the patrons of inventors and innovators. So basically, these guys get their bonuses in like research, and we'll be talking a lot about the tech tree. Notorious risk takers, both in their personal and professional lives, they often seem aloof and alienated from the nitty-gritty and needs of the people. So yeah, you can see where their bonuses and negatives are going to come from fairly easily. The Kilgannons, now these are like the people's champions, really. A strong working class family with a history in politics and the labour rights movement. So they basically, champion the people. Their dedication has made the family very popular with the proletariat. Their contributions to society are much appreciated, but this benevolence tends to lead to increased building prices. And by the way, I am really struggling with a seriously sore throat, so bear with me, guys. Seriously, I can hardly talk. But I will do my best. I'm going to play this damn game. The Shishkis, this is a Russian family. They pride themselves on being cultured, civilized patrons of the arts and theatre. So they're going to get their bonuses all in the entertainment theatres and stuff like that. With dabbling in politics relatively new to them, they have no particular experience in the field. So you can see again the bonuses and negatives. They're going to get lots of bonuses to fun, as it's called in the game, and they'll have some negatives on the politics side because they're inexperienced at the politics. We are going to play this first playthrough as the von Filsons, the traditionalist aristocrats ruling the proletariat with an iron hand, because that'll be fun. So let's choose them. Now, as well as the bonuses and penalties that you get for the family, you also get bonuses and penalties from the character that you play, the family member. Now, we can only play through Era 1. This is the press beta, and although the full game is here, there's an embargo on going further than Era 1. But even Era 1 is probably going to take me, I would think, a couple of hours to get through. I've played through it a few times now. And my God, guys, there is a lot to take you through. There are a lot of game mechanics, a lot of game concepts to talk you through. This is a pretty deep strategy game, and I am far from having like a total handle on this. It's the gameplay. I think is a little bit of a challenge. It's going to take us a while to figure out what the right strategies are in terms of how to grow your city like easily. It's certainly not easy, or at least I haven't found it easy. So anyway, let's talk about Gerbert. This is Gerbert von Filzen, a cruel aristocrat. Gerbert von Filzen puts empire and power before everything. His strict upbringing in a militarised nobility left him emotionally repressed. While respected, he does not tolerate incompetence and deals ruthlessly with insubordination. He is a loyal man who believes the emperor has a God-given right to rule. He will protect the realm and no one will stand in his way. He is cruel. He's an evil sadist who takes pleasure in others' suffering. A little bit harsh. He gets -2 to goodwill. And goodwill is a very important thing in the politics, as you will see. But he gets +3 to security, and I'll be taking you through what these things are as we get into the game. He's a Luddite, right? Luddites are people who resist the advance of technology. You believe that the slower the change, the happier the society. So we get minuses to brain power. Grammar schools, we get brain power +1. Now, brain power is basically what fuels your technological research for new inventions. Again, more on that later. Elite, with the elite class, we get personal growth of -2, -2 personal growth in the middle class. High schools, we get -1 brain power. Vocational schools, we get -1 brain power. But we get bonuses for security, +4 with the elderly and +1 across the board. And we get our goodwill resting point with liberal parties is +2 and +4 with conservative parties. So basically we are liberal and conservative. Okay, let's jump into play. We have to choose a map. There are 3 maps to choose from at the moment. This one, the Rimini, located on the big plains of the Swaralian coast. This location provides the city plenty of room to grow. Covered in thick forest, the land offers the new mayor endless possibilities to develop their city. This one, the Cauldron, takes place in Swaralia's mountainous region, offers the players the opportunity to play in a very focused area, clearly influenced by the mining industry. So the types of industry and whatever definitely affect the gameplay. Players face the challenge of building a city in this unique location where shipping lanes are constricted and railway traffic comes from the other end of the area. You'll see once we get in there, you need to start off with road connections, and then if we played this map, it would put the railway like at the other end of the map, so we'd have to expand up to it, which is going to make life more difficult. And then this one, Cape Soralia, is another unique map, which is offering the player an opportunity to play around a cape in a U-shape, which would provide us with a different set of challenges. The area has a unique flavour and poses an interesting challenge for the player to tackle with, I assume. There are one or two, I gotta say, there are one or two like spelling mistakes and grammatical issues, but like I said, this is only a beta. This is a press beta, so I'm sure all these things will be fixed in the final version. We're actually going to start on the first map, which is I think the easiest one. So let's start the campaign. I am going to leave the tutorial on because it's going to point me in the direction of there are a lot of game concepts and a lot of mechanics to explain to you, and the tutorial will kind of point me in the right direction, even though the tutorial does kind of hamper you financially because, for example, it delays you changing your tax rates and things, which I might even try and get a jump on. We'll see. Welcome, Gerbert von Filzen. You are Gerbert von Filzen, the 24th Margrave of Filzen, loyal subject of the Emperor, His Imperial Highness Francis II of Austria. He appoints you to build a new city to connect Vienna to the Adriatic. You are granted 500,000 thalers to set the foundations of the new city. Okay. And we start off with just there's just a couple of tips on like WASD for the camera to move the camera around, and Q and E, R and T for like rotation and tilt and stuff, or you can use the mouse wheel. Right, let's create our first district. It does get you straight into it. I like the tutorial. I find is actually quite good at introducing you to the game. If we click on create a district, now I'm zoomed us out as far as I can go, right, and you can see that we've got an area. It's quite a big area for the city itself. It's going to be a fairly big city. Now, creating districts. Now, zooming in, by the way, you can zoom like right into this level. Now, that seems, when you look at these trees, to be like pretty close in. But you'll see when we get buildings, it's actually not that close. And I wish you could actually zoom in a little bit closer, because some of the buildings and the vehicles on the roads and stuff, it would be really nice to get a little bit closer to them. But it is what it is, and it doesn't spoil it. The other thing is, I wish you could switch. I wish you could invert the mouse, because for me it's kind of the wrong way around. Like if I move it down, I want the map to move down, not up. But I'm sure some people like it the other way, so it is well. But I'd love the option to be able to change it. Anyway, create the first district. Creating districts is really easy, and it's quite nice. What you do is just like drag over an area. The game will automatically like connect to like boundaries and stuff. But you can change these to be like however you want. Now, this district area is too large, and there's kind of there's a maximum minimum size which controls like how big or how small you can have these. And if we bring this down, oh, there you go. So that's about as big as you can have a district, and as you can see, it automatically creates like a grid. Now you can kind of change the orientation of it, and you can have these like pretty much any shape you want. You can add extra corners and create like weird shapes, and you can get it to like fit into weird corners in the edge of maps and things. I actually really like the way that this creates the grids, and you can kind of change, like if you want to change the alignment of the streets and stuff, then you can, just by playing around with the different way that you like set it up. Now, as far as I can tell, the alignment of the streets and stuff is purely cosmetic. It doesn't really affect well, it doesn't affect how your city performs. But like I like to have mine kind of a little bit straighter, and try and get like a kind of a nice-ish sort of grid, if possible. That's maybe. I'd love to get that straight to connect to the. Now this is a road that's running along this this kind of southern border and around here, and you need to start off with a road connection. But later you'll be able to expand up, and this is the difference with that other map. Now here, the railway station goes somewhere. I think it might even be here, the railway station. There's only one location that can be placed, whereas in the other one it's like way up here or something, and you have to like grow your district out in this direction to get there. Anyway, right, so that's putting a district in. Now, normally what you would do is you would propose this to your city council. This is not a god game. You can't just do whatever the hell you want. You are the mayor, and you are answerable to the city council. You have to persuade them or cajole them or blackmail them into doing what you want. But for this first district, because the Emperor has given us a whole bunch of money, we're going to be able to just do this however the hell we want. Now, in your first district, you put your city hall. Now, this is a unique building. You only get one. It doesn't matter where you put it. You can put it anywhere. Let's see. Our city hall. I'll click on this. We'll put our city hall kind of up here in the middle. That'll be fine. Let's put it. Yeah, let's put it up there. There we go. And then once we've placed the services that we want to place, we propose the district. Now, like I said, normally this would go to the city council and there would be a vote on it. But and we can name this. Oh, this is Farnham. That's actually not far from where I live, Farnham. But we are going to use our personal funds to actually to just buy this, and therefore we don't have to put it to a vote in the city council, which makes life very easy. Haha! Right, now we want to go to the progress cloud. Now this is our tech tree. Oh man! Now the tech tree. This is where you can see and research all of your inventions. Now, let's talk a little bit about the broader game. The game runs over a period of 200 years. And there are 5 different victory conditions, which we'll talk about later. But the simplest victory condition is simply to survive and remain in power and not get voted out for 200 years. The game starts in 1820 and runs on till 2020. Now, if you get to 2020 and you're still in power and you love your city and you want to grow it more, then you can carry on. This is a sandbox game. But really, you won't get any more new stuff after 2020. So there's kind of not too much point. But if you've fallen in love with it and you want to carry on growing it, you can. The 200 years is split into 5 eras. You've got the Industrial Revolution, or the second wave really of the Industrial Revolution is Era 1, and then Era 2 runs from the late 19th century, so the end of the 1800s, up to the beginning of the First World War, I think. And then you've got the third era, which runs from the First World War through to the Second World War, and then Era 4 is the Cold War era, and then Era 5 is like from the fall of the Soviet Union through to 2020. And each era has a set of inventions that you can research and invent. Things like thermodynamics. And each one of these unlocks various buildings, edicts, different game mechanics or game features. And let's say you've got thermodynamics, you've got telegraph, gas infrastructure, safety authorities. But as you go through the eras, they get more advanced. So like Era 2, you get electricity and combustion. Era 3, you start to go through the electrical grid, refrigeration, psychology, public health. Era 4, electro-optics, organ transplants, pop music, sexual revolution, personal computers. And then the final era, you get into the advance of genetics and information security and digital distribution and social media, etc. And I love that, like, we're currently looking at Era 5. When we click to Era 1, it jumps backwards through each of the preceding eras. Quite like that. Okay, so we have to choose what we're going to research first. Now, oh man, this is where you get like kind of a big dose of civilization with these, because the way you advance through the tech tree can make some pretty big differences to the gameplay, and figuring out the strategies and whatever is going to be a big deal, I think. Thermodynamics, for example, unlocks steam power. It unlocks the clothing store. It also unlocks spread selection, which that allows you to determine within a district how much of it is residential, how much of it is commercial, and how much of it is industrial. Because there is an RCI meter, and you'll see that the demand changes. And when you create new districts, you want to be able to, when you create new districts, or you can modify existing districts to accurately meet the demand. But you can't change that until you've researched this. And the other building that gets unlocked with this is the police station. And then down here we've got the telegraph, which leads us to newspapers, unlocks the church, shoe stores, the railway station, which gives companies a boost, and the theatre. The gas infrastructure allows us to have gas street lighting, decorated gas street lights, which gives a bonus to the environment. Gas lighting, which improves the physical environment for everyone. Gas infrastructure, this gives companies a boost. cobblestone roads, which increases the amount of traffic that we can have on our roads, and unlocks the chemical industry. There are all kinds of different industries that you can unlock along the way. Let's see, and finally, the safety authorities of the last of the first 4 texts that you can research, and this will unlock edicts that reduce the running costs of healthcare facilities but increase the quality. You can license tobacco, license alcohol, which gives you an increased income, but it reduces the sales on those industries. And it unlocks the clinic, which is a building which improves health. You also got the Work Safety Act, which increases security for certain workplaces. We will talk about security and happiness and all the rest of it in a minute when all of this stuff unlocks. Right, we are going to go with, you know what? I think I'm going to start with thermodynamics, because it unlocks the spread selection so that we can meet the demands, which I think is quite a good thing, and it gives us a boost to a bunch of our industries. Which helps to make us some money. Making money in this is not that easy. Well, at least I haven't found it easy so far, and I've put a few hours into this now, and I did a bunch of research before that, like with the developer streams and stuff like that. I'm sure that it will get easier as we figure stuff out. I understand like a lot of the mechanics, but this is a pretty deep game, as you will see. Right, let's get thermodynamics researching. Right, so that's researching. This takes 400 brain power points to research. So it's going to take what was it, 58 months? I think, yeah, 58 months for each of these first techs. We've currently got 7 brain power, and that 7 brain power is coming from our city hall that we just placed. So let's go back. Now, time control is pretty straightforward. You've got a pause button. You can increase the time by ×2 or ×4, and it's as simple as that. Now, as soon as I take this off pause, we should see, that buildings start to pop up. And we start to see vehicles and people wandering the roads. Here's our town hall. Oh, see, first you get like lumber turn up, and then you get like scaffolding erect. Oh, and then you get the building. Let's see if we can actually... Here we go. Oh, here's a building emerging through the scaffold, and there we go. Very cool. And you can see the population starts to jump up. Already up to 181 people. Modify district. Great, now that some citizens have found a home in our city, it's time to add some more services. As time passes, you'll need to improve balance and add more services to existing districts. You will also gain new options to help this. Again, this should be a much needed school is to be built. So I have to do it in the Russian accent. Much needed school is to be built. So let's get familiar on how to add services to existing districts, Captain. To get there, you need to click on the name banner on the top of the existing district. So we click on Farnham, and we get all kinds of information. Here's our zoning density, which is currently low. This is our distribution. So we've got 60% residential, 10% commercial, and 30% industrial. That tooltip. Oh, that tooltip is right. You know what? In a previous game, when I moved over that, it said residential, not commercial. Weird. Okay. Infrastructure. We've got our road grid. I don't know why that says 2. I honestly don't know why that's saying 2. Because it's like 1. It's got 1 road grid. That's it. Okay, whatever. It tells you the happiness, and then it's broken down into these categories, which we'll talk about in a minute because it's going to unlock up here very soon. And then the number of residents and how that's broken down, and we'll talk about the demographic breakdown later as well. And then party support. This is how the people in this district vote for the different political parties. We'll talk about that when we get into the City Hall screen. And then the businesses and the road capacity. We've got a road capacity of 25,000. which is like quite a lot. But we can increase that capacity as that gets filled up by improving the roads. Like right now, we've got just gravel roads, but we can improve those as we unlock better technologies. We've got our running costs. Now this is costing us 46,000 a month. So you can see that right now we started off losing 46,000 a month, but now we're only losing 32,000 a month. So our income is currently 15,000 a month, and hopefully that'll carry on going up a bit. But really, we could do with increasing the taxes. Now, the thing is that the tutorial doesn't want me to do that yet. So, yeah, I don't know. I might try and do that because it will make life easier for us if we increase taxes sooner. We'll see. We'll see what we can do. So here we go. Modified district. Services are at the heart of running a successful city. You'll notice that I've unlocked the view at the top of the screen. That's this thing. This is called the Wheel of Life. I'll explain it all to you, don't worry. It shows how satisfied your citizens on average are with their basic needs. Citizen happy has consequences on how they vote and how well the economy is doing. And again, this bit's in Russian. From top panel, you'll find the general view fast, regardless how many different districts you have or how many citizens you have, Captain. Build a school by selecting it from the selection menu on the right. Okay, so you go to here, and you'll see any buildings, any service buildings that you can add will be in this list. Currently, we only have the grammar school. So we're going to choose the grammar school and we're going to place it. Now, this has two circles. Right, an inner circle, the green one, and an outer circle. The inner circle gets a boost to personal growth. Now, personal growth is basically education of +6. The weaker range outside the yellow circle only gets +3. Now, we're going to be putting districts around these, and it would be nice to kind of get coverage across other districts as well. So I'm kind of tempted to place this kind of more to one side. To kind of save me like a bit later on. So I might like pop this in about there, I think. You'll see what I mean when I put another district in. So I can change that around if I want to. But I'm going to confirm that. That sort of looks okay. But that's going to cost me another 125,000 to place. Now, this is my personal funds. This is the money that the city has. This is our current budget balance. So how much we're profit or loss we're making. This is our goodwill. Now, goodwill is basically a currency that you spend on political parties, but we'll talk more about that when we get into the city council screen. This is prestige. This builds up over time, and the happier your people are, the more prestige you get. But you also get prestige from certain events that happen. And again, we'll talk more about that as it happens. This is our brain power. Again, which fuels our research. Currently, we're getting 7 brain power from our town hall. That's the only source we've got at the moment. There are other buildings that will provide it, and it's kind of linked in with certain edicts or certain laws or whatever will add brain power points to certain buildings as we go along. You'll see as we go through. And then the Wheel of Life. Now, this is apparently based on Pavlov's hierarchy of life, which I'd never heard of personally. I've heard of Pavlov's dogs, but that's all. But apparently he came up with this idea. Now, this is the city's happiness, and you can see here that it shows you the demand and the supply. So how much we are currently providing for each of these 6 categories, which are these 6 categories here, which are social life, security, the environment, health, personal growth, which is education, and fun, which is like entertainment. And you can see this is the amount that the people would like to have, and then this is the amount that we're actually providing. Now, this works on kind of a bit of a sliding scale. If we were providing 11, right, and they're demanding 11, then we would get plus 10 up here. Okay, but because we're providing 9 of the 11 that they would like to have, we only get plus 3. If we were providing 0, then it would be minus 10. So it's a sliding scale from plus 10 to minus 10. Okay, and you can see over here in the personal growth, we're not providing so much. We're only providing like 5 of 12, and so we're at minus 4 for that. Now you can go to the individual ones and get more of a breakdown and more of a description of what's going on. And this is also predictive. So, for example, this is saying us that like right now or like last month, our city social life bonus was 3, but it's now telling us that if we carry on at this rate, then it'll be, if it stays like this at the end of the month, then it'll be 7. So it's actually increasing at the moment. And if we look at this one is actually decreasing at the moment. This one minus 2, that's staying the same. This one is decreasing. This one is increasing, only minus 2. And this one is decreasing the level of satisfaction. Okay, so that's all that stuff. My God, you can see what I mean. There is a lot to go through, and we're not done yet, not even close. Now, I should probably take a second to talk to you about the effects of... Yeah. No, you know what? Let me wait until we get some other stuff unlocked, and then we'll start talking about the classes and then how the classes interact with the different industry and commerce and stuff. We'll do that then. Okay, so we'll confirm that school. Now, normally we would have to propose this to the city council, but again, because it's the first one, we can actually spend our personal funds because we've got enough to buy it ourselves. And this is a consistent thing through the game. Like, if you've got enough money in your personal funds, then you can just do it. You don't have to go to the council. But the vast majority of the time, you're going to have to go to the council. So use personal funds. Right, now so let's click on the Wheel of Life. And I've already explained all of this to you, so I don't need to explain it to you again. Right, good, hooray. Right, now the game is actually running and we're building stuff. But look, we're losing a freaking fortune at the moment. But the thing is, I can't, I don't think I can change. No, I can't change it yet because the tutorial hasn't unlocked it. Now, if you start a regular game without the tutorial, you can just do it straight away and change the tax rate. But I've actually got to wait for it to let me change the tax rate, which is a little bit frustrating because you can see we're losing like 42,000 a month. And that's, I mean, that is cutting. And each time this bar goes up, that's a month. So each time this bar goes up, we're losing that amount. And you can see that we started off with like, I don't know, what was it, 1 million or something? And we're already down to 172, 134. So, yeah, we very rapidly go into a negative situation. But now, finally, the game decides to unlock the city council. So, go to the city council. Yes, I'd love to. This is the city council. Now, the city council is made up of parties. Now here we can change the tax rate, we can change our funding levels, which is how much money we fund different public services. And by giving them higher funding, in other words, paying more for them, or paying more to them to maintain them, you can get more bonuses back. You can also propose different types of edicts, i.e. laws, and of course affect political decision making. After most decisions you make, there will be a council vote, and that's like pretty much every decision, like almost every decision there will be a vote. And you'll be wanting to influence how your fellow council members vote. And now this is an important part of the game, and the whole political intrigue and how you manipulate the different parties and whatever is a big part of it. And if you like that kind of thing, you'll really like this. If you don't like that kind of thing, and you'll see how it works, I think most of you will probably like it, but I'm kind of be interested to see what your reactions to this are going to be. Go to the party view. Okay, well, we can do that. So this is the party view down here. If we look at the political parties, this lets you know everything you need to know about different political parties. There are two particularly important things. First of all, goodwill. We talked about goodwill before, which is both an indicator of your relationship with the party and your political capital over them. In other words, like it's like you can beg favours from them or demand stuff from them, and you pay for it with goodwill. And the political compass, which is this thing down here, which dictates how they vote on different issues. Anything that's put before them will have an impact in terms of like how liberal it is or how conservative it is, and whether it's left-wing or right-wing. Now, in principle, the left-wing parties tend to like higher taxation and more public services, whereas the right-wing parties lean towards low taxation at the expense of public services. Liberals and conservatives have opposing views on traditions and freedom of the society. Liberals like a freer society, more rights for people, and the conservatives prefer more traditional, less freedom, that kind of stuff. More, and that's kind of where we are. We are a very conservative, imperialist type family. So, click. Oh, here we go. Let's see this in action by raising the taxes. Okay, well, let's do it. So, we go to taxing, and we're going to change our tax rates. So, what I'm going to do, we're currently running at 10% for business tax and 10% for citizen tax. I'm going to increase those to, I think, 13% for both, which will increase our income by like 7,000 a month, which is not a. It's certainly not going to solve our problem instantly, because we're currently losing 36,000 a month. But it's going to make the situation better, and as we grow, hopefully we'll reach a point where we start making a profit. So, if you look down here, you'll see these. Now, there are 3 political parties at the moment. You can have as many as 7 political parties at one time. We've got the Physiocratic Party, the National Swaralian Party. The Swaralia is the country that we're in. The fictional country of Swaralia, and the Free Democratic Party, who are kind of a right-wing party. The Physiocratic Party are a left-wing party, and you can see where they lie in the political spectrum. And the green area is what they support, right? So these two parties are lying within the green, so they definitely support this quite strongly. The Free Democratic Party is in the yellow area. Now, if I increase this, you'll see that this green bar is going to move across, and eventually you'll see some red coming onto the screen. Oh, here we go. We've got some red. If I increase this as well, yeah, you'll see that comes even further across. Now, right now, because we're making such a loss, there's big support for a tax increase, and they would let me like bump it right up to 20%, but that's actually way too high. If you have your taxes too high, it will have some very negative impacts. And let's get this up and running, and then I'll talk about why that's a big deal, on why it negatively impacts your people. So let's propose to increase both to 13%, which I think is about an okay level. So everybody approves, right? So you can see that on what the political landscape is, whether the parties are for or against. So we'll okay that. Now we've got a thing here, lack of confidence. Let's see what that is. 2 things that are of importance here. Oh, it's not showing us. Oh, because I clicked on that. Let me see. This is the Physiocratic Party councillors complain that the Free Democratic Party is untrustworthy. What is your response? Oh, good lord. Oh, I don't want to upset anybody particularly, but this is kind of forcing me to upset someone. Now, the Free Democratic Party are a right-wing conservative party, which kind of it fits in with me from a conservative perspective. So I don't really want to upset them too much. So I am going to go with I'm going to assure them that the Free Democratic Party can be trusted. But that's going to make the Physiocratic Party not like me very much. But it should make the Free Democratic Party like me more. So, yeah. Oh, here we go. The council has accepted your reassurances and trust the Liberals more. Okay, good. Appreciative party towards another party. Okay, that's good. Well, okay, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I haven't seen that event. There are lots and lots and lots of random events at both a national and local and personal level. And they all have impacts on the political feelings, the feelings of the people, your own personal traits, all kinds of stuff. There's so much to this. There's so much to this, and there's still more that I've got to tell you about. But we'll get there. Okay, so we've set up to increase our taxes. Now, let me just show you this. If I click on this, you'll see we've got these three numbers here. Now, these indicate how many of the councillors have already made their mind up to vote against. Now, 2 have already decided that they are going to vote against. 17 have decided that they are already going to vote for this bill to modify taxes. And then there are 42 who are still undecided. Okay, now, you've then got these. Now, these are the icons that represent the parties. And like I said, we've got 3 at the moment. And where these icons lie on this scale tells you whether the parties are in general for or against this particular law or bill or proposal. So these guys are a little bit less enthusiastic about it than these guys. These guys are very, very strongly approve of it. But I mean, this bill will pass very, very easily because everybody supports it. But if they didn't, we can actually influence them, which is what the game is asking me to do right now, which is to appeal to the parties. Now, when you put forward a proposal, they don't go through immediately. There's a number of months before it goes through, and it depends on the bill as to how long it takes for everybody to make their mind up and then finally have the actual vote. And you can appeal to the parties once a month during the build up to the vote, and you can appeal to them at the time of the vote as well, and you can appeal to them in different ways. Initially, there are 3 ways you can do it, which are you can plead your case, which is to try to put a rational argument to them, or you can demand that they follow your lead, which sometimes they will, sometimes they won't, or you can threaten them. Now, if you threaten them, like initially, or if you're like have good standing with them, they're pretty likely to respond pretty dramatically to that. But if you do it too much, then they will just start hating you. In fact, if you do it at all, they will like start to dislike it. So you have to be kind of careful how you use these, and also depending on what you use, it will use up your goodwill with the parties. But you get more goodwill as like over time. I am drinking tea to try and ease my sore throat at the moment. Which seriously, guys, I've got such a sore throat. I can barely talk right now, but I am doing my best. So we will use the cheapest option, I think, which is we will plead, and this is the least offensive. Now this, we don't need to do this because this would get voted through and approved without us doing anything. But if you keep an eye on this, if I plead with them, and you get a collection of different options. It's not just 2 options. You'll get, it can vary, like probably 2 to 5 different options. It comes from a pool of potential choices, and it's affected by the family you're playing, the character that you're playing, the current political situation, the type of persuasion you're trying to use, and all kinds of stuff. And Depending on what you try, you won't always get the same result. Now, I don't know how much of it is random and how much of it is a complex algorithm, but they wanted to make sure, the developers wanted to make sure that you couldn't just steamroller the council all the time. And you can't. Some votes are very, very difficult to win. And keeping on an even footing with all the parties and stuff, it's actually quite challenging. So yeah, it does stay fun. I've been doing this for quite a while now, and trying to manipulate the parties to get all of the things that you want voted through is a challenge. Anyway, for this one, we're going to say most citizens agree with this. So come on, and we'll see what they say. And if you keep an eye on this, this should increase with a bit of luck. So. And you don't really know if the citizens support your views or not, but some of the councillors seem to believe you. Excellent. So the change of opinion on the current vote for the Physiocratic Party is +2, and it cost us -2 goodwill with that party. So we started off with we started off with 3 goodwill, and now we've only got 1 goodwill. So that's how you spend your goodwill to influence them. So let's say, I don't know, is that going to... That didn't appear to move to me. Oh no, I did the Physiocratic part. I did the wrong one. But you know what? It actually doesn't matter. I was actually on the Physiocratic Party rather than clicking on the Free Democratic Party, which was the one that I wanted to influence. Never mind. Like I said, it doesn't matter with this because this is going to be voted through easily anyway. Right, let's go back to the city view. My God. Right now, if that wasn't enough. We now go to all the statistics, the data view, and I am not going to go into like massive depth on this at this point because there's like so much. Basically, the population is split down into five demographics: the social elite, the middle class, the working class, the lower class, and students. And this breaks the wheel of life down into those demographics. So you can see that, for example, the elite are getting less personal growth than, for example, the middle class. Now, probably the important thing to note here is that people can move from one class to another. So lower class people can become working class can become middle class can become elite. And the way they do that is with personal growth or education. There is one other way of doing it, and that is if you can make them like staggeringly happy, then they can potentially move to a higher class. But that is like the hard way of doing it. The more usual and regular way of doing it is by educating them. The better educated they get, the more they move up in the classes. Now, why would you want them to move up in the classes? Well, businesses, let's get out of this for a second. Let's pause this. If I can find a nice commercial building, here we go. That's a mixed building. Where's a nice? Yeah, here we go. If we click on a commercial building. I'm not going to go through all of these, but there are 2 kind of critical ones. The efficiency and the quality. Now, efficiency is improved by the happiness of the working classes. Quality is improved by the happiness of the middle classes. So if you make your middle class happier, then that will improve the quality at companies, industry and commerce. If you improve the happiness of the working classes, then that will improve the efficiency. Now, if we go back to the city data again, now elite people can take jobs of middle class people, and if they do, then they improve the quality even more. Middle class people can take the jobs of working class people, and if they do, they improve the efficiency even more. So what you want to do is try to encourage people to move up the social ladder, so that you get more people at the working class, middle class, and elite levels, so that you've got more chance of having people from a higher group working in the lower jobs, so that you improve your quality and efficiency. At the same time, you also want to be improving your happiness as much as possible, so that you improve quality and efficiency at those industries. And that's how you make your industries better. And your industries can level up. You can see this is a restaurant, and it is currently level 0. But if we give it good services and all the rest of it, it will actually level up. And you will see that the buildings get much larger and more impressive as time goes on. The buildings also have these 2 radiuses. And depending on the happiness of the people, it will increase the size of this inner radius to cover a larger area. And I suppose that represents the fact that if the people are happier, then you've got better quality, a better service, and therefore more people are attracted to use that particular service. So there you go. That's that. My God. Is there anything that I haven't mentioned about the City Hall? I don't think so. Oh, yeah, yes, there is. Okay, so this is the service output of City Hall. Now, it's giving +2 to social life. It's giving +2 to security, +2 to physical environment, +2 to health, +2 to personal growth, and +2 to fun. But you'll notice that, for example, if we look at security, we're providing 8. So where's the other stuff coming from? Well, some of it is coming from our personal traits, but some of it, for example, now we're providing 7 social life. Only 2 of it is coming from the town hall. There's no other buildings that we've got which are providing it, but people can actually, because they're going out and shopping, they can get these bonuses from going out and spending their money that they earn in shops and whatever. Now, this is where the taxation that I was talking about comes in. If you overtax people, they haven't got as much money, so that they can't spend it in the shops, which affects the sales in the shops, but also makes people unable to afford these extra bonuses, which means that your averages will drop. This also affects people who are unemployed, because if people are unemployed, then they have no money, and so they are completely dependent on the services that you provide, rather than going out and working and then having money to spend and improving their bonuses by going out and spending money in the shops. Same if you overtax the companies, then they'll start going out of business, and then you'll go into a nasty spiral. So you need to be very careful with your taxes, that you don't kind of just like crush your economy by overtaxing. Okay, that's that. Can you hear how much I'm struggling? Seriously, guys, I am really struggling with the voice. I can feel it's going to go like any minute. I'm doing my best. I apologise for keep drinking, but I've got to, otherwise I won't be able to talk. Okay, I think at that point, enough talk, and let's let the game actually run on a little bit.